What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Risky Ryan Trades. Kind of a strange day in the market, a little bit of whipsaw action. If you were day trading, you would know what I'm talking about. So on today's video, we are going to go over the indexes, the Mag 7, and a few other important stocks. I'll also touch on crypto. We're going to talk about SOFI, we're going to talk about NVDA, we're going to talk about Palantir, all of the PayPal. We're going to talk about all of these stocks. Before we get into it, here's my disclaimer. Trading is risky. The content in this video is not financial advice. It's my opinion only. Trade at your own risk. You can't sue me. All right. So thanks for joining. Thanks for joining me. Likes are appreciated. Don't forget to smash that like button. I got a lot of info, so I'm going to just dive right into it. So we got the Dow flat. We got the NASDAQ up 0.57, S&P up 0.42, and the Russell was rolling heavy today. You can see here the right side of our heat map is pretty green. Consumer names like consumer cyclical names, apparel, Walmart, Target had a great earnings today. Utilities, basic materials, doing well. Financials got hit the hardest. Our big dogs, Microsoft, Apple, and Google, not doing so hot, but Amazon, Meta, NVDA, they were doing all right. Tesla did all right as well. Taking a look at the ETFs, semiconductors with a strong day, 1% up. Tech, 0.6 up. Industrials with a strong day. You also have, mid caps and small caps doing well. Yeah, financials got hit the hardest. Energy, oil production, healthcare getting hit. You got retail doing well. Home builders doing really well. Consumer discretionary doing really well. And crypto, Bitcoin doing really well. Cool. All right, so let's talk about the action today. I'm going to go to a 5-minute chart, and you'll see what they did to us today was just kind of mean. They pumped us up into the close. They threw us back down. They pumped us back up. They threw us back down. Threw us back down. Pumped us up. Threw us down. What a choppy day. What an incredibly choppy day. 560 is a pretty critical level. And then, 558.50, 558. So all the 50-cent markers, you can see we're kind of pushing through, pushing over, pushing through. We did hit 562 today, so we made a new high on this little run that we've been on. Let's take a look at the daily here. Got to use my Ichimoku. All right, so nice candle. Really nice candle. We came back, we retested the 10-day moving average and popped right back up. This tells me that we're going to keep moving up. That's what that tells me. A lot of price rejection on the previous couple days of action. And so, yeah, I would not be surprised if we keep moving higher. Obviously, we got Jackson Hole on Friday, but pretty good volume here and the right kind of price action. Tenkan-sen is about to cross over the 50-day, which is great. We do have a bullish cloud in action right here. Chiku span is almost overpriced. Tomorrow it will be overpriced if we stay at these levels, and from there it gets easier and easier to confirm the Ichimoku. Looking at the Qs, still in the cloud, but moving in the right direction. We do have the cloud sitting. Call it 488. So a break over 488, 489, and a close over that, and we are going to be looking really good. But we are over all the moving averages. We're over the 50, we're over the 10, we're over all that stuff. So really, we just got to get up and over the cloud and get this cloud to do the right thing. Let's take a look at NVIDIA. Couldn't get out of the cloud. And we also have this fib level at 129.21. That is the most important level to watch. And you can see it here we tap, no, tap, no. And like if we go back here, we broke over it for some time and we fell back under it, and you know, we double topped today at that level, which is not really a good sign. But you know, it might take some time just to get up and over that, because as we saw, we got the cloud and a fib level sitting right there. We are being supported by the 10-day moving average. We're still up and over it, and the cloud does make its way down. So tomorrow, if we open right there, we're going to actually open outside of the cloud, which could help us because this would become a level of support. Now let's take a look at the GANs of NVIDIA. We're up and over the arc. So yes, we have the 10-day moving average, but we also at about 126, we have the arc. And if you're not familiar with this, this is a GAN box. Or I think it's called a GAN square. I call it a GAN box. Don't ask me why. But we did form a doji yesterday, so if we close under the doji and under the arc, expect to move back down to like 120-ish. But yeah, so that's something to keep your eye on. Let's take a look at Tesla. It also had a good day today. Oh, that was still NVIDIA. So we're inside the cloud. We did have a 10-day over 50-day crossover. We're over the 50, we're over the 200. We're over this downtrend line that has been in effect since like 2022. We had a moment where we came over it, came under it, popped back over it. We closed multiple days over it. So I actually really like Tesla right now for the first time in my life. I know I've been a Tesla bear forever, and based on the price action, based on, you know, years of it going down, and it looks like this trend is broken and breaking this trend line again. Also, we're up and over this GAN angle and everything. 244, getting back up to 244, 245, 250, like getting in there, closing some candles over that. That's what I really want to see before I feel like I'm really out of the woods. But you can see the bottom of the cloud is held for support really well the last couple days. So yeah, Tesla looking all right. Not bad. Okay, what else did well today? Meta crushed it today. But we're still underneath this 542.81 level. But you know, you can't deny it. I mean, we closed. Did we close under the 10-day yesterday? We didn't. So the 10 days held strong for us. It's still a good, solid level of support. And yeah, so like this 543-ish level, we really got to bust over it in a strong way. If you see that, that could be a really good trading opportunity. And this is these are fibs. The next fib level up, based on here, let's go to a monthly just to show you what I'm talking about here. So maybe I drew this wrong here. Let me see how this looks if I do this. Okay. Interesting. So yeah, you could also do something like this. So 600, you know, something like that. That could be the next level if we can break through that all-time high. But I actually like doing this right here probably the most. And that puts our next level at 572. And after that, it's all the way to 872. And, you know, that wouldn't be a terrible price target for the next year. And that would be a 50% gainer. So, yeah, this is probably like a, you know, next couple years kind of thing, but that's, you know, 25%, and actually from here, that would be like 30 and 30. So I think it's totally doable for this name, especially the way that Wall Street loves it, the way that it's just absolutely crushed its recovery. And, you know, it's moving really strong at a time that all the other big techs feel like they're stuck in the mud. Also, taking some of the risk out of this trade, you can see we pretty much double tapped and confirmed this GAN level at 522. And so now it's ready. You know, it's ready to do its thing. And yeah, I got a level of 635 for the ARC. Let's see if I have any confluence here. 635, not on the fibs. Not on the fibs. 635. So how about the next GAN level? That would be 670. 872. Interesting. I'll have to draw some new fibs, but let's see if I can get any confluence with the ARC. Sometimes that works out, and that can be a good thing. We're cooking on the RSI, no doubt about it. But it can do that for a while. So, like, look at here. I mean, it just stayed overcooked. And actually, that's on the monthly, so it can stay like that for a while. Looking at the daily, the RSI is not yet cooked. So I would expect if we were to pop over this level, you know, we could be overbought for a minute and then come back down to retest it. Okay, that's enough of meta. Let's take a look at Microsoft. Microsoft closed over the 50-day for the second day in a row. I think that this gives a buy signal to Wall Street to say, okay, it's safe to get back in this name. Also, another thing that gives me a buy signal on this is we have now confirmed for the second day that this GAN level is a level of support. Now, if we could flip this doji, close a candle over 427, 420, yeah, like around 427, it's going to be on. It's going to punch into the cloud. And I have a level at 440 here. I think that that would be the next major level of resistance. So Microsoft has been running behind, let's put it that way, since the drop and everything in the market. And so Microsoft has a lot of catching up to do. Another thing that I like to see, or that I find interesting about Microsoft, is if we go to a year-to-date performance, it's a laggard in the Mag 7. Except for Tesla, obviously, but like if Tesla finishes the year above Microsoft, that would be nuts. So I suspect that Microsoft's going to have a better second half. That's kind of what I am expecting. Okay, Apple. Can't talk about Microsoft without Apple. Where the hell did there it is. Apple. All right. Still holding up. Had kind of a wonky day, little spinning top action. This is usually a reversal candle, or it can be. Obviously, this level right here, 226, is like, it was like a major zone. So, you know, a break over that, and, you know, we could really fly back up to like 230 or something. So, MACD is still, you know, looking decent. RSI is not too hot. Yeah, so, and the cloud is getting closer and closer here. So I don't really think that Apple's going to go into the cloud. It could, but I don't know. After this strong of a showing, for it to go into the cloud would be just kind of strange to me. Taking a look at the GAN, see where that's sitting. It's probably the same as yesterday. Yeah, so this is one thing that is a little troubling, is that we're finding a lot of resistance at this GAN angle still. So tomorrow, I mean, it could get as low as like 223 before it finds support again. So that's kind of something to watch out for. So I would use this doji, like the high and the low of this. So the low 225, the high 227.90. So 225, 228. You know, if it breaks over, then you could definitely take a long trade. If it breaks under, you could take a short trade. But of course, that's just my opinion. All right, so moving on, let's take a look at Google. Google had an okay day today, but we're still under the 200. We're still under the 50. It's just a no. It's just a no from me. Show you the GAN as well. It's not really like there yet, you know. GAN sits at like 170. So, and we rejected, and we got rejection over top today. Like, it was a green day, but rejection over the top. We could come back down to test like 160. Would not be surprised in the slightest. Okay, let's take a look at Eli Lilly's. Eli Lilly had an interesting day today for sure. So red candle, but positive overall. And we are coming to the all-time highs. And so that's what's going on here. But the pressure seems to be up. If we look at the 5-minute today, it had, you know, wee. So actually, it started over here. So we dumped. We started off high, whipsaw, came, you know, the undercut. We came low. We pushed through all of the levels, came back down to the clouds. So this thing was just kind of a wild ride, like nearly impossible to trade. But I do think that this thing, you know, it has what it needs to get going. Cloud turned bullish recently. Is Chiku span over price? It will be tomorrow. So the Ichimoku will trigger tomorrow. And yeah, I think Eli Lilly has a big day. And I love Eli Lilly. It's underweighted in the NASDAQ and the S&P 500, in my opinion. I think it's like a 5 to 7% position in this. It's 4 times 8. I think it's like a 5 to 7% position in this stock in my portfolio. I really do like it. It's kind of like Costco, where it's underweighted for what it deserves to be. We had what looks like a reversal candle, but it's not really. I wouldn't really call it that, because we just closed higher, and we kind of closed the gap too. So there's no gap there. And we had a lot of upward pressure from the earnings of Target. I think it was a sympathy pump, but then, you know, kind of came back down to earth. But to me, this is like the start of a more accelerated uptrend, is what I think it's going to be. Also, you know, we confirmed over this GAN fan, which was, look at how this was support here, and then resistance, and then resistance, and then support again. Obviously, this 870 level is kind of important, and, you know, the 840 is important, but this GAN does seem to matter. Taking a look at, let's take a look at Eli Lilly real quick on the GAN, just because I skipped past it. So yeah, I mean, you had this perfect retest and pop. So yeah, looking pretty good for Eli Lilly, in my opinion. Costco basically needs to break over those all-time highs and get into the arc. And this is a big arc. Like a big one. Really big one. Is that a GAN level? Can't tell. It is a GAN level. So we got a GAN level in the arc at 926, and that is where like the previous earnings, and then there was a release right here of they're going to raise their membership, and it just said it popped straight up, tapped it, and then it fell down like it did, and now it's mounted this excellent recovery. It's almost back up to where it was. I never thought it would come up this quick. Just so nuts, the market. Okay, Let's take a look at Spotify. Spotify, in my opinion, deserves to be a big Tech Mag 7 stock one day, kind of like Netflix, which we'll get into. So we're in the ARC. And Ichimoku's good. We didn't flip this doji, although it was kind of like a bit of a rough day. Netflix had a really strong showing, and then we dojied in the center. So we're just like firmly within the ARC here. We could get a retest. I don't think we do, though. So we flip this doji, that'd be a selling sign. I don't know. So, you know, we tapped this. I think we get a retest of this before we get a retest of this, in my opinion. So, and we are up and over. Look at that. We're basically sitting right at the old all-time highs. And yesterday we made a new all-time high. So, Netflix. So, yeah. Looking pretty good for Netflix. PayPal. I decided to buy it today. Why did I decide to buy it today? We're at, you know, it was over this, and then it went under, and then financials got hit overall. So I don't think it's like a PayPal thing as much as it's a financials thing. But yeah, so we do have the ARC, we do have the Gann angle. You know, we've reclaimed all of these support levels, and if the market does well, we could see another push back up to 79. This thing could be really fast moving. So I'm holding. SOFI, we're just pretty much in the ARC. You know, a ton of support right here at $7. So I don't think we fall below that again. Famous last words, right? Okay, so then we have, what did I say? Palantir. Palantir is forming a base right here. You can see it's holding $32 really strong. That was a strong resistance turn support level. If I go to Heikin-Ashi candles, they are getting smaller, but they are still green. So that's good for Palantir. Let's take a look at CrowdStrike for the hell of it here. So yeah, I mean, I would not be surprised if we get a hit our head here moment and then kind of come down to the Tenkan-sen or here. So I'm not really a buyer right here. Maybe I would if I see like a successful retest of this level after earnings. Yeah, like the earnings call, the second they start talking about it and they get questions asked about that, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I want to see 175 before I buy this again. It's just, and that would only take you back to November. So yeah, I loved CrowdStrike. I had it and I sold it when it was rolling over here, and I missed all of this. Thank God. Thank God. Okay, let's look at semiconductors actually. So they're trying to get their way into the ARC. We're in the cloud, some overhead resistance nearby, so we need some strong semiconductor action. But the ARC, you know, it sits there at 253, a major level sits at 255, and then the top of the cloud and the top of the ARC sits right around 268. So it's going to take some strength to really get through that. But if we flip this doji right here, that could give enough of a buy signal that it would push the market into this. Bitcoin had a great day today. We are up and over the Gann level. We are up and over 60,000. So this is huge, guys. Absolutely huge. If I go to Heikin-Ashi's, I'm sure I'm going to get like a good one. Yeah, so 61,000, I think we see it retest that level, and that would be a decent buy because I think that's a big support level, 61,000. So really, really great day for the cryptos, at least for Bitcoin. Let's take a look at some of these others. Ethereum, not as strong. Couldn't get over Tenkan-sen. So that sucks for Ethereum. XRP had been really strong lately. Let's see how that one's behaving. Yep. So the Ichimoku Tenkan is not quite overpriced yet. So we need some more strong days out of this name, but I like what I'm seeing. Dogecoin had a day today. Getting out of the arc. Woo! Interesting. Interesting. That is the most it's ever... Oh, maybe not ever closed out of this arc, but that's a big deal. And Kijinsen sits at like 11 cents. 12 cents to me is like the big one. And then, you know, obviously getting up to this GAN level is important. So, yeah, Dogecoin. That's a good sign. What else do we got today? Let's take a look at Solana while I'm doing crypto here. Yeah, kind of looking like Ethereum, huh? Oh, Amazon. I almost forgot about Amazon. So Amazon had a good day today based on Target's earnings. Kind of reminds me of Costco, to be honest. Similar price action to Costco. So, yeah, we're basically at the resistance point of 180, a breakthrough 180, and we're coming back up to like 187. So I like this. Tenkan crossed over Kijinsen. Let's take a look at my chart here and see how the Ichimoku cloud is sitting. How could I forget about Amazon? So yeah, we don't quite have this, but yeah, we closed, today we closed over the 50 and the 200. So we have institutional support. Once again. Hopefully, but we should. And I think we did today. That's how we pushed up so high. So, cool. Yeah. And we had a parabolic SAR break 2 days ago. So, off to the races for Amazon. Remains to be seen, but the signs are there. I'm going to look at... We're going to look at United Healthcare. This is another big holding for me. And if you haven't watched the Perfect Portfolio video, I will link it at the end of this. United Healthcare is one of those stocks that over the last 10 years has outperformed the NASDAQ while suffering less drawdowns. So that's why I call it the Perfect Portfolio. But yeah, we're basically just basing here right at these highs, and this level of like 170 or 575 is essentially our support line. We don't have earnings till October, so this thing can move and get higher. And obviously, earnings were good, so it's kind of just in a digestion period here. And by the way, if we go out here, I'm going to hide the indicators. If we go out, let me do a weekly chart. So you can see we based, like, while all the stocks were going down in 2022, this kind of just treaded water. And now we've finally broken above just in July, confirmed this GAN angle, and now we just got to break free, and we would be free to try to get up to 740, which if we were to do that from here is 28%, which would make up for some lost time, wouldn't it? So yeah, I like this name, and that's why I own it. Another name I like is FICO, but FICO's been having some trouble, maybe. Yeah, just like another doji, like a tighter doji today. So kind of inconclusive. I wouldn't really draw a whole lot of anything from that. I think it just needs to like digest this move here. If I take a look at the Heikinashi candles, we're still good on the weekly. The daily's a little strange. Oh, sorry. Ichimoku on the daily looks interesting. Oh no. What do I do? Do I sell? Does this come back down to test this level of 1660? I'm gonna have to think on this. Maybe I put a stop at the bottom of this, or let's take a look at the Heikinashis. Yeah, I think I might have to put a tight stop on this thing at like 731 and then see if I can pick up shares like right here. I want to stay long this name long term, but like you can't deny this chart, especially when I picked up the share right here. So like that's like a super oversized gain in a short amount of time. So I'd like to keep that. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. FICO. Okay. Lockheed Martin's another name that I had to put a close stop on, but it held over Tenkinson today. Or did it? No, it closed under Tenkinson as well. F. Okay, last two names. Shark Ninja. Closed over Tenkinson. Had a really nice, strong day today. Looking for this thing to get up to like 100. Ooh, why did I do that? Stop. Heikinashi candles. We turned green again on the Heikinashi candles. Awesome. And finally, bonds. TLT doing his thing. This is I bought this 2% of my portfolio, nothing crazy, but this is just a 2-year swing trade. We're gonna get lower rates, and we know we're gonna get lower rates. It's like the easiest trade of all time. And if I go back to the weekly chart here, let me turn this off. So here was up here was 0% interest, and then right, so like I'm looking for this, like a 15%. If I get a 30% gain by the end of 2026, like I'll probably close it. But I'm thinking, they want to get rates down to 0 again, but it might take a while to do that. But I think that we're going to get like by 2026, I expect to have a 40% gain on this. Yeah, and you can see that it's like it's going to be in an uptrend now. So yeah, crazy times. But yeah, I don't expect to reclaim the all-time highs, but if we can get back in here like 140-ish, and it all depends on how long it takes. Like if we get there early 2025, like if the market just like sends this thing up because, oh, we're going to get more rate cuts, I might just close my trade there. But I mean, where else can you get like a 20% a year type of return potential while having like almost no downside? So that's what I'm thinking with this trade. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, and you haven't hit the like button, would you do that for me? It helps with the algorithm. Your comments are greatly appreciated. If you'd like me to analyze a stock that you hold, leave a comment below, and I'd be happy to do that. If there's something I am missing, or like what do you what is your prediction? Here's a question for the comments. Why is the Qs lagging the S&P 500? S&P is already right back up here. The Qs still haven't even broken back above this gain angle yet. So I'm curious to your thoughts why the Qs aren't doing well. Do you think it's because they're slowly piling into the Russell 2000? It could be that. So I'm curious your thoughts. And if you haven't subscribed yet, you probably see a subscribe button or a little subscribe icon that's popping up right now next on the other side of the screen of my perfect portfolio video. Become one of my first 100 subscribers and help me escape my day job. Okay, with that being said, thank you so much. Risky Ryan out.